You already saw that I've tried to sign in with Google. I got this info. I'm trying to put it in the API so that I could save it in the database, right? So that's exactly what we're doing. We're trying to create this route / Google, and then we'll create a controller. Here we're going to create the controller here in the auth.controller.js. So let's just open this up here somewhere, right here. And then over here, right after the sign up, you could see over here. Let's go in the bottom. You could see sign in. So we will sign up, sign in, and then over here on the bottom, you could just create one more, which is going to be for the Google. So this one is also super simple and easy. What you could just say is export, and then we have const, and then we have Google. Okay, so Google, and then we have async, like that. Okay, let me just close it for now, and let me just have it successfully imported. So okay, so this is there, Google, and you can see over here, Google is not there. So let me control space. Okay, now it's there. So now it's successfully there. You could now create this API. So if we go back to this application, refresh this app, nothing seems to have an issue. Let's go back here. Remember, like I said, the request gives three things: the name, the email, and the photo URL, right? Or you could just say Google photo URL, and that's coming from the request.body. Remember, from this the API call that we do from the front end. So what we have is a try and catch. In the catch, you're just gonna use your middleware. So next, and then you would just say error. So this middleware will handle your error thanks to the next middleware configuration that we did earlier. And then in the try, this is where we're gonna try to save it. So essentially, first of all, we're gonna see if this user already exists in the database or not. Okay. So what we could say is we say const, and we say user, and then we have await, trying to find the user. So we say why can't I add my const user, and then we have await. Okay, and then we have await, and then we have user. Okay, user.find1. This is the thing, and then we have to pass the email, and we see if we could find our email user through our email or not. If that is possible, if that is true, right? So if I say if the user was found in our database, right, then we could do something over here. So what we could do is we could create a token. So we could say const, and we have token, and we create a JWT token sign, just like how we did before. We get the user dot underscore ID from our database, and we say process env, and then we use our JWT secret. We could use this to create a token again to sign in, just like how we did before. Okay. And just like how we did before, we could have the password separated. So we could say const, and then we could say password, and we could just say dot rest. So the remaining will be like that, user dot underscore doc. Okay, that's great. And then over here we have is response. This is now key. Response dot status. We have to check if it's 200, means it's a success. Then we basically have a cookie, and we have created access underscore token is the name of our cookie or our token. We use the token that we've used with the sign in, and then we basically have one thing, which is this security, which is HTTP. Okay. So what we can do is HTTP only, and then we have colon true, comma. Great. And then what we want to do is we want to do dot JSON, and then we have rest. Okay. So we have format document like that. Okay. So we have dot status 200 dot cookie, and then we have this response. So we have a status 200 cookie access token, and then we have HTTP true, and then we have .json, and then we have rest. So let me just explain what's happening. What's happening is that we have the successful sign in, the user exists in the database. It gives us that token that's created, and it returns the rest information to the user, right? So that's good. That is super good. But what happens in a bad situation? Like if the user doesn't exist, okay? So that case, we have right now we just have response.status 200.cookie access token, and then we have .json, and then we have REST, which is, you know, from the database. We just throw it out and basically respond it. You know, that's why I was saying in my OAuth, remember this thing that was, you know, containing this data. This is actually that data that's coming from there. So that's, you know, essentially we're doing all of the things, and it makes so much sense now. But if the user doesn't exist in the database, we have to create a new user. Okay, and to create a new user, one important thing is that the user will have an email, a username, right? But the thing it doesn't have is a password. How are you going to create a password if you know, you're logging in with Google? So you create a custom random generated password, and you could change it later on. So we could just say const generated password, and then we could use our math.round. So math.round, this is going to be used to create a number, like a random number from 0 to 1. And then we have toString, and then we have math.round, and we have toString, and then we have over here we could just use 36. Correct me if I'm wrong about this 0 to 1, but I'm not sure. But it's over here math.round, a random thing. ToString, we could have a number between 0 to 9 and alphabets A to Z. Okay, now over here what we want to do is we want a dot slice. So we say only the last 8, right, in the decimal point, and this means, like, you know, it's going to be like 0. And then only, yeah, so like letters too, and then only 8. So the first 8, so like, you know, like the first 8 from after this decimal point. That's what it means over here in the math round. So, but if I say the same thing, I do it 2 times. So math dot round again, and then toString, and then the same stuff up here. So like that. So this is amazing. So right, we're getting a little, it's a secured password, right? And we want to not only that, we generated a random password. We want to hash the password. So you could use hashed password. So this is going to be super secure stuff. So hash password, and then we could have is equal to, use bcrypt.js again, bcrypt.js hash sync generated password, and put a 10 rounds out. Okay. Now to create a new user, you could just say const new user, and then we get a new user. Okay, and in here you want to put in the states. First of all, the username of the user would essentially have a name. So the name, actually you could, you know, essentially what you could do is you could get the name. So where, you know, you could get the name of the user. So what I'm thinking of is over here we could say name, which is okay. So over here you can see that there's a name part, right, coming from there, name, email, and photo. So you can say name, and we could essentially have dot to lowercase, because normally it would just have like this, coding cleverly. Okay, this is the Google. We want to say to lowercase. Okay, to lowercase. We want to basically have the we want to have the, you know, things in a split fashion. So we want to split by space, and then join it so that, you know, there's no spaces. Then we want to add in math.round toString, only numbers. So come on, string, and then we, not 36 but only 9. So 9 only means 0 to 9 numbers. Okay, slice, and that means only the first 4 numbers. Okay, now check this out. I'm not telling you that it means only 0 to 3 number. It means that random, the first 4 numbers that could be generated. Like it could be just like you know, like this, the first 4 numbers. Got it? So it's gonna have coding cleverly in lowercase to and then it's gonna combine it. So essentially what it's gonna look like is this thing, which is coding cleverly, will turn into like this with 4 additional numbers with it, because, you know, anyone could have 2 same names, right? So that's why this is how you prevent you know, having duplications. Great. So that's there. Now we have the email. So the email is as it is, super easy and simple. Password, I mean, not the password, but the profile picture now. This is now new. We don't have this defined in our model. So we have to create this right now. So profile picture will be the Google photo URL. Now check this out. Profile picture will be in the model. So we have to go to the model, so which is in the models, and then over here we have user.model.js. Over here what we have is password. Right after the password you could just say profile picture, so profile picture, okay, and then in here you could have like that, and then you have type string default. Now what do you want to do by default? Let's go here and we would say profile picture, okay. If I search this, go to the images, you see this by default, like this this custom blank profile picture, like this one. I like this one. So we could use this copy image URL, something like save image, copy image, where are you? Copy link address, save image as, copy image in, I think copy image address, let me see. Yep, copy image address. So we're going to use this one. Go back here and paste it right here. So this is our default image. So if a user doesn't give a photo or doesn't have a photo on Google, that's going to be the default image in our application. Okay, super nice, huh? So save this file. Today I don't know why my Control S is not working. So once it's saved, oh man, what's happening? Okay, it's saved, good. So now we have this done, and now we could go back simply back to our controller, and you know we're okay to have that semicolon here. Okay, great. So now right after the user is created, right? So what you want to do is you want to have await, and you could just say new user.save. This is going to save it in the database. Great. And you also want to create a token, right? So you could just say const token is equal to JWT, JWT.sign. Okay. And then we have here is ID is new user ID. And then we have is admin. So we have const token JWT.sign await. So saved it, and then we have to create the token. So we have JWT.sign. We have new user. So this is new user that's created. We want to get the underscore ID. Get the ID. Great. Okay. And we also want to have the, you know, you could basically say is over here we could close it out. So what I believe is, I mean, we could have it like this, I believe. Yeah. So let me just have this in a better format document. Okay. So we have you know, this object, and then in here process.env.jwt secret. After that we could have the password thing. So again, the same stuff that we've been doing before, and you know, again and again. Password reset user doc, response.status, you know, remember 200 status 200 and dot cookie access token. It should be true for security purposes, and JSON REST. So that basically shows the REST information except for the password. That's pretty much it. So format document again. Okay, so we got this done. Let's go and test it out. Go here into our application. Now it's off or something. Okay, it's running. So let's go back here. Refresh. Okay, let's sign in with Google. Sign in with Google. You're going to get those errors, cross-origin ones. Click on sign in. Okay, so what happened here is that we got a 500 internal server error from OAuth Google. Okay, so I mean, I didn't even refresh the page. Okay, I mean, it didn't take us to the sign-in page, right? I mean, the home page. Let's look into the database. So if I go to the Mongo database, so mongodb.com/address, we have to check like what was the issue over here. So it says over here there was an issue with the so status false, status code 500, message user validation failed, password is required. Okay. Okay. So what, you didn't give the password? I thought we brought it inside. So let's look at the thing again. So in the auth.controller.js hash password, I think we didn't pass it in. So we created this generated password, right? And then we called it hash password in the password field. So basically over here. Yep. We had to put in the password. Sorry about that. I mean, I was talking about it and then I just ignored it or something. Okay, now it's not going to give you that problem, and hopefully it's going to, you know, save it. So Control S, and just file and then save. Okay, and now let's go back here. I want to see the sign in here, the database as well, so that we could see the data. Refresh this page once more. Okay, so there's nothing here. Okay, and let's go to the console. Continue with Google. Okay, now sign in with the Coding Cleverly account. Okay, awesome. We're back in the home page. Okay, looks good. Let's look in the network tab. Okay, we got this Google 200, means status is success. Click on this. This is our response. Awesome. We got Coding Cleverly and we got NAN. That's some concerning. And then we have the email was good. The profile picture is good. Created and updated app. But why is this NAN? We gotta have to fix this up. But other than that, I mean, the payload is this thing. So, you know, you basically gave in your name, email, and, you know, the remaining stuff, name, photo, and, you know, email, photo, Google photo URL, and name. So essentially that's, you know, the data that's being passed, and it's basically being saved in the database. So over here I'm gonna have to log into this Google as well. This also Google OAuth. But mine has, you know, this one has like the no parameter. So I already did it, so it doesn't, you know, ask me to sign in with the Google again and again. I put on that default parameter that makes me make sure to do it again and again. So over here we go to the view deployment. So, you know, what we want to do is we basically want to go in the database section. And, you know, I'm actually concerned with this part because I thought this was going to give you the really nice password. So, so you got this, right? So mapped out round. Oh, okay. So it's basically not round. It's random. Ah, man. That's why I was saying, like, what round? Random numbers. Okay. Now it's going to give you some random thing. And the same thing goes here. Random. That's why generated password, and then the other thing I believe were not correct, but this time it should be correct. Okay. Okay. Does that account exist? I mean, it would exist, but it would not look good, right? It will be hashed, but you will have NAN. Remember, like that was created, like that NAN, and then the password is just random. So just delete this one, and let's do it again. Okay. So refresh. I mean, it's not gonna matter now because even if it exists, it still logs you in. So let's sign in, inspect. I like looking at the console at the same time. Sign in with Google. Okay, and now this is the window I'm talking about. And where's this code from? I'll tell you. This, you know, this provider set custom parameters prompt select account. If we remove this, it's not gonna ask us to this window again and again until, you know, if we sign in the first time, it's just gonna just save our state. Well, because we deleted it. Now you can see over here, it's signed in. If we go to the network, you can see the Google. It has the success. Okay, this is the payload. That's great. I mean, that's basically the API. And in the preview response, did I reset the server or something? So over here too, we have an issue. Let me refresh here. Okay, we didn't save it. What is happening, man? We had to save it. So math.random looks good. Again, it's gonna contain nan. Delete. Sign in. Inspect. Console. Sign in with Google. Coding cleverly. Network. Finally, some numbers. 3637. Email, profile picture, everything looks good. The database, it's going to be saved as well. So now we could use this, and if I look into the Redux thing, so dev tools, you could basically open this up as well in the inspect. Click on inspect, this arrow, and then you could see Redux. Now look at the state thing. This state includes my now coding cleverly, email, profile picture, ID, and all that. Refresh this page. Keep refreshing it, but it's persisting all the state. We could use this now to basically have our image on the navbar. We could have our username, email displayed, and we can use this globally now. Now this is the key, and this is the beauty of this. Remember that sign-in success thing, and we put that data inside? This is exactly what's happening. Dispatch what we did. So, I mean, this was so good. It was really nice. I really loved doing this. And now we're going to move on to the next part of this.